Also, it's just hit me. The sun is going down in this game once again, which means it's probably going to be time to go ahead and see to it that we do have the reactor on, but let's go ahead and actually kill that reactor, shall we? If it hasn't killed itself. So reactor, turn you off, and then batteries, turn you on. Cool. That should keep everything in check. Awesome. Oh my god, the game just sort of froze for a second. And the ship... God, it scares me so. Yarps. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Anyway, there we go. We got all this ground down pretty much. We got a large cargo container, of course, ground down. I say of course because this is where it was. If you were... I don't know. How do you know? It's been ground down. That's the point. We're probably going to grab that cargo container as well. Maybe a few other little things. We want to leave most of the piping... Oh my god, why am I tilting? We want to leave most of the piping down. Why are we... We're snagging on something to the right? Is that what's happening here? Okay. Okay. Stay calm. Ugh, for the third time, we want to leave most of the piping down there just because it's connecting up to the ship. And we don't necessarily want to cut it all yet. I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, since we have all of our reactors up there now. Or no, we don't have our reactors, but we got all of our refineries up there. We got our assemblers up there. There's not really anything left at this base down here besides power, and that can just go through anything. So we don't actually have to worry about, having the conveyor system necessarily hooked up anymore. So I could just grind everything down at this point. Before I do that, though, I really do need to go ahead and check my refineries. Just make sure they're all set up correctly, so we're not going to run out of, what do you call that fun stuff? Uranium! Probably want to set all the refineries to be working on uranium. Now that I think about it, I finished those other two refineries. I'm not sure I ever transferred anything into them. I just sort of assumed that something would get transferred into them. Like the stacks would get auto-split. Wouldn't that be amazing if the system automatically split stacks evenly throughout everything? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? No, I need to look into like the TIM system or whatever it's called. Like the stuff that we use on Joel's server. Which actually I think is hosted by Phoenix, but Joel's livestream server. Because that system is interesting, and I think it could be very helpful here. Let's just get rid of this one over here, and then we're going to head back up to the facility, and probably dock the ship, actually, down here. Unload most of its stuff, and then we'll see what's up. Hell, maybe we won't even unload it. We're just going to dock it, I think. So let's disable that. Fly the ship over without crashing it. I said without crashing it, and what do you frackin' do? Impossible to fly ship. We need to work on reactor components. What is happening? I'm holding right there. I'm holding spacebar and nothing but spacebar, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop. We must have too much cargo in us. Like the weight must have reached that point. We need to get those other reactors going because we're just overloading like crazy. It's your own damn fault. You can't blame the game for your own shocking incompetence. Just dock the damn ship. There. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Refineries. Awesome. Let's just go to here. We'll search refinery as well. So we got some of that. Let's split this sack of uranium, shall we? That's one of the... What? Oh, right. Sage, you're an idiot. You are a shocking imbecile. You completely forgot what you're doing because you were too busy for too long. Main cargo for this main mobile. Search the word mobile. I'll get it. Aha! Let's drop off almost all these. Let's drop off 2,000 of these. Let's drop off 800 of these. Basically what I'm doing here is making the ship lighter, and we're going to go ahead and install that, or finish building, I should say, that cargo container from up on top. That way we'll actually be able to shift stuff through the refineries. That's why. You have to remember, it's been quite some time for me. Look, the sun's already gone down. Great. Okay, so hover ourselves up here gently-ish. Cool. Awesome. Possum. Awesome. And then rotate ourselves around. That way we can get the welders out there ready to go. Go ahead and switch the welders on. You can see their nice little red dots. Of course, we have no rear lights because we were not intelligent enough to think that through. And let's just back the ship up ever so gently. Right. Hip. Oh, Lord. I keep wanting to press down arrow to aim up. There we go. Awesome. And now just gently go down a little bit so we can hopefully get both of those working on it. Yes. Fuck. Yes. Sehr gut. Awesome. So now we got all that hooked up. Now we'll fly forward. We can't move. My controls have stopped responding. I guess I was magically alt-tabbed? I don't know what happened there. I could see my mouse cursor. Alright, so there we go. We got that up and running. Now we can go ahead and check our reactors here. Yeah, look at that. They got way more in them now because, of course, it transferred everything. And now we're just going to go ahead and split the groups here as well. So let's go ahead and look at refineries and then refineries. Awesome. There we go. You go ahead and take about 1,500 of that. And you go ahead and take... Where's another one of these refineries? We should put something. There we go. You take 1,500 of that. Cool. So now we have 4 refineries making all the uranium in the universe that we shall need. Awesome. And also, since I'm sitting down here, let's check our inventory. We got 7 steel plates. We need 8. Because we're going to go ahead and put more of those effectiveness modules in there. There we go. 8 steel plates. And simply find our effectiveness modules wherever the heck we left them. There we go. And install away. Awesome. Look at this. This is nice. Isn't it nice? Nice and shiny. And also, we're going to go ahead and head back here. Grab ourselves some more stuff that we're actually going to need. We're going to need 4 of these. Son of a bitch! 4 of those. There we go. 4 of these. And what we're going to do, very simply, is put some lights on this thing so we can actually see what we're welding when we're welding. There we go. Had to find the button. Why can't you do this, huh? Why can't I put something on the side of these? That basically means you have so much wasted space with these pipes. No! There, and there. Now we should have more than enough lights to light up the whole damn thing. It's like a giant flying light bulb now. Except for the left and right, which is still completely pitch black. It looks like a weird walker now. I love puppies. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take this silly bugger backwards and try to weld up some of this nonsensical stuff we've gone ahead and placed in right here now. Of course, to do that, we're going to have to turn on our welders. Woo! It's working. Thank God. Awesome, that's 2 of those done. Let's make sure they're all the way welded up. I'd say they are. And let's move to our other direction a little bit. Of course, remember, flying it like this means all my controls are backwards. I could, of course, simply install a remote control block, but that would be silly. That would be silly and logical. We don't want to be silly and logical. No, we want to be foolish and annihilate our entire facility in a matter of milliseconds. Yikes, we are really going to need more solar panels if we're going to power all of this. Because those batteries are not going to cut it forever. I mean, the batteries will cut it at night like right now, but the second the sun comes up, there's no way those solar panels are going to be enough to power all of this. So we either need to go harvest a ton of uranium, which I think requires a mining ship, or we need to go ahead and get ourselves just more solar panels. But really, I think even to do that, we should probably get a mining ship. That way we can just mine stuff up. Cool. Got all that. Let's go ahead, disable that, and let's see what it takes to build some reactor components, because that ship's in suffering, and we need like 95 reactor components to go ahead and get production, please. That ship flying. Okay, well, I've queued it. It's not building it. I've queued it. Oh, reactor number 7 is incomplete, but reactor number 7 is, for some reason, the king reactor now. Go, son of a bitch. Okay, so to build this, we're going to need... Yeah, it's pulling a little bit more gold in as it needs it. Gravel, surely we don't need more of that. We're going to need more iron according to this. It's still pulling some more in, actually. We might actually have everything we need here, depending on how everything holds up. Let's see. It says we're going to need 400 silver. Let's just go ahead, go to inventory, and search up silver. Oh, well, that's not good. There we go. So we got some silver in here somewhere, apparently. It's showing this. I don't see silver. Of course, I'm blind. We got a bunch of... Well, we only got 44 magnesium there. It sounds like it stopped. It sounds like it stopped. Yeah. We ran out of silver, didn't we? We had a bunch of gravel there. Production tab. Yeah, it stopped. Not enough power? Are you lying to me? Yeah, we ran out of silver. Don't lie to me. Not enough power? Give me a better... God, you lying sack of filth. Lying sack of filth. Don't lie to me like that. Not enough silver is a real issue, even though it says not enough power. I hate that. It said that for a while. I know. People are probably like, Sage, that issue's been in for ages. Yeah, I know. But I always just was too busy thinking about other things and being, why it gotta be so overloaded? Nearly explode every time. Just stay calm. We're gonna go ahead and get you the power you need, okay? Now I should just take out that reactor for this facility. Huh? Let it completely be overpowered or underpowered during the day, huh? And just make sure this ship doesn't crash. How's that sound, world? How's that sound? How does that sound, you son of a gun? We're going to dock this thing up and basically go looking for silver. I think we got some silver right next to the base. I just don't want to move this thing around. I'm sick of it blowing into bits. So I'm just going to leave it locked right here. Reactors. Yeah, we got enough uranium in there, and of course it's going to be putting more in. As long as everything still remains powered somewhat, we'll be fine. Oh, Jesus, I need to get my drill, don't I? And probably more hydrogen bottles, too. I know. We need to build a drill ship. Hello, doggies. Wow, it's like a doggy pit in here. Look at this. Huh. This is a bunch of robo-dogs trapped in this pit over here. Oh, congratulations. A moat will now work at defending your base against them. Well, flying in the dark, I seem to have just remembered that silver wasn't something that we found nearby. Actually, silver was something we found, like, right here. So let's go ahead and fly out and retrieve that, and hopefully the robo-hounds shall remain trapped down beneath the surface and not come running after us. And now that we got so much uranium in here, I'm hoping we'll be fine. Let's see, has it upped the uranium that we got in here by any more? Because, I mean, as it produces it, it's just pulling it into the ship. That's not too bad. You know what, guys and gals? We're being stupid, aren't we? I mean, I really should just build a mining ship. But without reactor components, I'm not going to be able to... Well, I could... Okay, we're building a mining ship. I think we got enough supplies to get a mining ship done, so we're just going to come park ourselves over here. We're going to end up taking this apart. I'm just telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so let's just pop this out of here. No need to have that. If we're just tearing this down, we're going to pull this apart. Get our reactor components out, as well as everything else. We're just going to drop everything right in here right now. Right in here right now. Jesus Christ. And then we're going to build our little small mining ship here. I'm thinking we'll go with 4 drills, maybe more. At least 4. Try to not go over the top with it. Dear Lord God. Alright, you need construction components to start that. Actually, I've decided we're going to start building over here. So this is our old building platform. And we got all these lights about and the connector right there, so it should be pretty good. And we haven't disassembled any of the piping underneath things yet, so we should be fine. Alright, let's start off with our cockpit, shall we? We'll just start with a cockpit, that way we know we're not going to make any silly mistakes. Cockpit check. Of course, it's a sort of swish thing, so we're going to need some interior plates for it. Right. So cockpit check. Awesome. Got our cockpit in there. Let's go ahead and take a medium cargo container. Is that what we want for our whole thing? A whole thing set up to a medium cargo container? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go like that. We'll have 2 of them. Do we want 2? Yeah, let's have 2. And we're simply going to cap it with a connector. Super simple son of a gun. Then we're going to need our drills, aren't we? So let's go ahead and find ourselves some drills. Oh, look, a drill. And we're going to put it forward like that. That looks good to me. Like that. Like that. We're going to just put 4 of them in there. I'm going to have 1 more at the bottom to facilitate its installation. We're going to move the connection point that we have here over to the back to ensure that the ship... Oh, dear Lord God. There we go. Doesn't fall as soon as I cut these pieces. Awesome. And then install this one right... Oh, no, there's 1 piece left. And then install this one right there. Cool. So that should be not centered at all, which is just disgusting. Right there. Cool. Nifty, nifty, nifty. Awesome. So that'll give us all those. Hopefully that'll be enough. We might have to do a bit of, excess mining, but hopefully we'll get the job done. And then how much do we need to make this hover? First off, let's just weld this up. There we go. With that in, now we can go ahead and start our full installation of everything else to make sure we get it all installed the way we want it. Right. That is just fine and dandy. Actually, we're going to go ahead and stick this here as well. So a bunch of doubling up. Oh, God. Alrighty, so I've gone ahead and shut down recording for quite some time there. Holy hell, it's not crash. This is the second I start moving again. And I've built up quite the ship. Yeah, it did fall over once and go kaputzo, but I restarted it, and it is not your standard ship. I'm really quickly just going to go ahead and take this welding craft and do some welding with it. It should let me get some of it done. There's still going to be some things that are not going to be done, unfortunately, just because there's just so much to it. So much to my simple mining craft. Hardy, har. As if such a thing has ever been such a thing for me. Come on, back up. Let's go. A lot of stuff is getting done. So yeah, let's just, while this is doing its thing, and it should actually probably be just about done. Let's actually get quite a bit done, actually. Now, let's look at our cargo container, eh? One of the main things we're going to run out of here is just simply, yeah, rotors. We've run out of rotors. I'm amazed this thing got as far as it did, honestly. But it should have let us put in a lot of stuff. That's about all we're actually going to get done, though, because, of course, the rest of it is on the other side, and I don't want to be flying this ship over the dang thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and explain it. Yeah, I bet you're real confused right away. At the back, we have a large thruster. Inside this, we have a remote control block and an antenna. We have our connector, followed by 2 medium cargo containers that are holding every... It's really... They need to work on the welding speed on these damn things. Yeah. Oh, when it comes to the welding speed of those, they're just nothing compared to this little tiny thing I'm holding. Anyway, as I was saying, we have 2 medium cargo containers, which all lead back into, well, the main body here. We need to actually go ahead. I seem to have forgotten to put the pipes in here. Oh, jeez. There we go. I just grabbed the stuff real quick. Yeah, there's supposed to be a pipe there, and then a pipe right here to connect everything together. There we go. Motor. I forgot to have the motor. Anyway, the pipes are supposed to go there. That leads up and into the main connectors that split in all 4 different directions to connect all of these. You'll notice that this one's offset to allow us to have a thruster right there, which hopefully won't give us any trouble. If all else failed, I'm probably going to cut this one and move it all over as well if we don't have enough thrust, because, of course, a lot of time I expect to be aiming this ship straight down. Oh god, I did more than I expected. Straight down. And mining ourselves away there. Yeah. What do we need? We need motors for all this stuff. It's amazing how many motors you actually end up needing for a lot of this. Oh look, our cockpit. We did manage to place in most of the parts for this thing here. The welder is just, it welds so much, it's just so hard to see what it's actually welding up that it feels like it's not doing its job most of the time. Yeah, look at this. Most of this just needs motors and metal grids now. And then the way you'll actually pilot this thing, I kind of forgot to say, is through that remote control camera right there. So you'll get in the cockpit, your remote control, and be piloting it, flying it that way. And then when you're ready to go back to base, you simply remove remote control and fly that way. Or you can fly it back the other way, whichever one you prefer. I could, of course, flip this thing around, but I figure most of the time we're not going to be able to see what the hell we're doing down there in the depths anyhow. Shall I remove these and just move this one over? No, if I move that one over, then it undoes some of the piping I've just done. We'll leave it for now.